studios. This is Acadiana's News Channel at 10.
President Trump is back on Air Force One tonight after rallying in Lake Charles. The president is urging Louisiana voters to push the button tomorrow for one of the two Republican candidates for governor. Three's on the street tonight. Live at the Lake Charles Civic Center, our Chris Welty covering the president and the gubernatorial race. Chris.
Marcel, the president spoke for roughly an hour and a half. He discussed everything from the impeachment efforts against him, Russia, trade deals, as well as the so-called fake news. He brought that up multiple times. He kicked off his speech saying he hopes to force a runoff between the two Republicans running against Governor John Bel Edwards, Edward Risponi, as well as Ralph Abraham. President Trump is hopeful Louisiana voters will fire Governor Edwards. Trump says Edwards has the worst jobs record in the U.S.
I'm really angry at John Bel Edwards. He has not done the job. When John Bel Edwards ran for office, he made your state a sacred promise that he would not raise your taxes. Then he got elected and broke that promise.
Edwards says he has a strong track record of bipartisan leadership, and he has no problems working with President Trump.
I will not sit back and let falsehoods about the progress we made in Louisiana go unanswered. Every major thing that I've done as governor was done on a bipartisan basis. We brought Republicans and Democrats and independents together to turn a record budget deficit into a surplus, to reform our criminal justice system, and to give teachers their first pay raise in a decade.
Edwards believes he could win this race outright, but if he's forced into a runoff.
I believe that our state is best served when we put Louisiana first. I will always put the people of our state over politics and partisanship.
President Trump says Edwards is a liberal and must be replaced. Though he is supporting the Republican candidates, Trump is not endorsing either at this time.
Edwards' terrible policies are killing jobs across your state. Edwards is now trying to destroy Louisiana's energy sector. You know that, right? With threats and lawsuits inspired by the radical left-wing Washington activists and Democrats.
Polls open at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and they close at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. And as Marcel mentioned, we'll have team coverage of elections across the state, and I'll be covering the governor's race in Baton Rouge. Three's on the street live in Lake Charles covering the president. Chris Welty, KATC TV3.
Thanks, Chris. Well, during